the Sunday Night Anthem, presented by Uber Eats.
What a shot and what a place. 'Tis the week before Christmas in the nation's capital and a 36-degree night 10 miles away. Welcome to FedEx Field, Landover, Maryland, where the fans welcome their Washington Commanders. And their quarterback, Taylor Heineke, tonight hosting Saquon Barkley and their longtime rival, the New York Giants. It's Week 15 of Sunday Night Football on NBC. And thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark coming up here in a little bit. Both teams are 7-5 and 1. The one, a 2020 tie in Jersey 2 weeks ago. We break that tie tonight for these teams. Big playoff implications, as you know. Chris, let's start with Washington. A really poor start, 1-4. They've only lost one of their last 8. What's happened?
Well, I think they've gotten back now to got to run, play some defense right, play the way that they have been. But I tell you, this Taylor Heineke has a little pixie dust to him. He really does. You know, he's 5-1-1 with him, just 2-4 without him. He makes them believe in magic, and then he goes out on the field and really delivers it.
The Giants, New York was a buzz. 6-1, Big Blue is back, but they've only won one game here over the last stretch. How do they get back to that form tonight when they need it the most?
Well, Saquon Barkley has to get back to the form that he started this season with, because he really carried them through the early half of this season. But for Daniel Jones, tonight's a chance for him to really alter his image. The Giants have been waiting for a reason to believe that he's the long-term answer at quarterback, and tonight he's going to get a chance to prove that.
It's December, it's New York and Washington, and it means a lot in the NFC East. Sounds good, doesn't it? The Giants and the Commanders from Landover for you coming up on Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey. And by Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Good evening, my fellow football fans. Tonight, in the shadow of our nation's capital, a city truly rooted in history, comes a confrontation with plenty of its own. Plenty of personalities, plenty of drama, plenty of disdain. Two sides perpetually locked in a bitter rivalry with decades of dispute.
A historic American rivalry.
And a direct conflict of interest.
Some big playoff implications.
A draw 2 weeks ago left both sides far from content. Now comes a runoff to determine a true winner.
Touchdown, Giants!
And while each of their constituencies have had little to celebrate in recent years,
Ain't nobody messing with us. Bring it on.
there's a groundswell of hope rising across the East.
Great job. Good job.
Giants Commanders from just outside our nation's capital on Sunday Night Football.
That was cool. Thank you, President Bartlett. Martin Sheen of West Wing fame and the NFC East battle about a dozen miles from the White House. Winner a big step closer to an NFC wildcard berth. More on that with Melissa Stark.
Mike, all week long, head coaches for both teams were hesitant to call this a playoff type of game. But in our conversations with the players, they clearly understand what a win tonight would mean. Commanders defensive tackle Jonathan Allen told me he knew this game could be the season. So he took it upon himself to rally the fans. He spent $13,000 of his own money to buy 120 tickets to give away to the biggest Commanders fans he could find. He told me he loved hearing the stories about people being season ticket holders since 1970 and seeing the crazy tattoos people had. He said this stadium needs to be rocking with their full support tonight. Unfortunately for those fans, the Commanders will once again be without their star defensive end Chase Young, out since last November with a torn ACL. They were hopeful he could make his season debut tonight. He told me pregame he is close. He's restless to get back out there. He just needs more practice reps, Mike.
Well, they're going to need him down the stretch. It'll be tight. Here's the NFC playoff picture. Division leaders on the left, focus on the wild cards in the middle. The loser tonight, since they will not have the head-to-head over the winner, they'll essentially be 2 back with 3 to go. Dallas gets in tonight if the Giants win. Now, what does it mean for Ron Rivera and Brian Daboll? Here's how it projects. The winner, a great chance at a playoff spot, but look how tough the road gets with a loss. And Detroit's win over the Jets, a big factor in lowering those loss percentages. That's what is at stake tonight. The Giants won the toss. Defer the option of the second half, so Washington will receive the opening kickoff. It's breezy, temperature in the mid-30s. Graham Gano to kick it off. Antonio Gibson back deep to receive for the 182nd time. New York and Washington going at it. Gibson will let it go, and here comes the Washington offense.
Terry Heineke, Old Dominion. Brian Robinson Jr., Roll Tide.
Terry McLaurin, Ohio State University.
Curtis Samuel, The Ohio State University.
Jahan Dotson, Penn State.
Logan Thomas, Virginia Tech.
Charles Leno Jr., Rex Life Academy.
Andrew Norwell, The Ohio State University.
Wes Schweitzer, San Jose State.
Trey Turner, LSU.
Cornelius Lucas, the trenches.
The trenches have been ever-changing for Washington. Schweitzer back at center tonight. This is the 9th different Commanders offensive line combo of the season. First player run with Brian Robinson Jr. 6 yards to the 31-yard line for the rookie out of Alabama. Handed the ball by Taylor Heineke. His 8th start after replacing Carson Wentz. Wentz hurt his finger. He is the backup tonight, by the way, Carson. But Heineke, 3 years ago, a backup in the XFL. Made the most of his opportunity in the 2020 playoff game against Brady and the Bucks. Started most of last year when Ryan Fitzpatrick was hurt. Tonight, NFL start number 24. 7 on first down for Robinson. Heineke's first pass out of the backfield. Tons of space. First down to midfield for Robinson. Just his 9th reception of the year, but already he's got 25 yards with 2 touches.
Well, you're going to see the result of the fact that the Giants have struggled trying to stop the run. They're bringing 5 up, and they're basically playing the run. So with Heineke coming out and going play action right off the bat, that is going to be very much the answer, and that's going to be the balance of this game. Can the Giants play a base defense and still stop this Commanders running game?
From midfield, inside give, nothing open there, trying to bounce it outside. Was Curtis Samuel, who carries it a lot, 32 times now on the season, and a loss of a couple of yards.
Exciting young player right there, Kayvon Thibodeau. He's got 3 sacks, maybe a bit fewer than people might have expected, but I think we're seeing now in the last month or so, he's starting to find that form. He's just such a tremendous athlete, has gotten great pressure all year, just hasn't translated yet into those sacks.
It was easier to remember. 5th pick of the draft. Number 5 for the Giants. After the loss of 1, Heineke to the air, and the tight end crossing. John Bates with the catch. As a flag down as Julian Love makes the tackle. They gain 5 on the connection. And for the first time tonight, we'll hear from John Hussey, our referee.
Holding. Defense number 30. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's on Darnay Holmes playing in the slot for the Giants in a secondary that has a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah, they really do. You're going to see they're going to try to get physical with these receivers out there, but that's too far down the field. That is an obvious call. The officials, each one has an eligible receiver, so they're not going to miss that.
Empty out the backfield for Heineke. From the 46, deep drop shot down the middle, too tall. As he tried to get it to Bates again, rather than Logan Thomas, the tight end in the middle of the field.
Okay, Taylor Heineke is not that guy that has the biggest arm. He's not the guy you look at him in the elevator and you go, oh my gosh, you have to be a professional football player, right?
Right.
But there is something about him inside the halls of their practice facility that everybody sort of says the same thing. He's the guy, right? He's the guy. And they really follow him.
He is not afraid to take a shot downfield. With the 46, here's Robinson inside. Love with the tackle. It'll be about 3 for the Giants before third down. We'll meet their defense.
Kayvon Thibodeau, Oregon.
Sexy Dexy, Clemson. Leonard Williams, USC.
Azeez Ojulari, Georgia. Michael McFadden, Indiana.
Jalen Smith, Bishop Lewis High School.
Nick McLeod, Slow Trail Wildcats.
Julian Love, Notre Dame.
Jason Pinnock, Windsor High School.
Darnay Holmes, Pasadena, California.
Fabian Moreau, UCLA.
That defense facing 3rd and 10, and they gave up 48 to Philadelphia last week.
They're spreading them out here early.
5 of the pattern. Heineke out quick. McLaurin, his best receiver, stopped short of the first down. Jason Pinnock, the second-year man out of Pittsburgh, makes the tackle, and Heineke's telling the sideline, I got this. Let's go for 4th down here.
All right. It is game on already. A bit too far for the field goal, and Wake Martindale, he is known to blitz. He is probably the guy that has that reputation more than any other. 4th and 1. You can expect it here.
Shotgun formation. Robinson inside. The rookie's got it. Powering forward for the first down to the 32-yard line. This drive stays going. Fans have become very supportive of Brian Robinson Jr.
He has quite the story that we'll document here in a bit, but for Brian Robinson, just the fact that he's playing football right now, something of a miracle. And he really, when you look back at the turnaround of the season for Washington, it sort of started about the same time that Robinson came back and started that power running. It really defined this offense in many ways, especially in that game when they won in Philadelphia.
He gets a break. Antonio Gibson is the back. They try to get it to Samuel. And again, Kayvon Thibodeau in there for his second good play behind the line of scrimmage.
So when you watch Washington play, they've got a lot of sort of slower developing kinds of runs. Well, that doesn't work so well when you've got a kid that's athletic as Kayvon Thibodeau. He's already demonstrated that if you're going to take your time in the backfield, I'm going to get there.
Defensive Player of the Year coming out of high school. Kid from LA goes to Oregon, unanimous All-America. And making an impact here with the Giants. 2nd and 13 for Heineke. Middle of the field, it's caught. Just a gain of about 4 yards with Gibson closed on quickly by Jalen Smith, the former Dallas Cowboy. Will have 3rd down again coming up on this opening drive.
Yeah, and those first down run stops are going to be the key for the Giants all night long. The Commanders really want to just be able to stay with their run game. But if they can turn this into a drop-back passing game with Taylor Heineke, they feel like they have the great edge.
The top receiver, Terry McLaurin's up there at the top of the screen. Heineke looked his way, covered, looking to take off, cannot escape. He's brought down. Giants close the pocket quickly. And let's see if they'll go for the long field goal attempt here.
Let's take a look. The whole pocket here tends to collapse around Heineke, who's been effective as a runner. He really has been. There wasn't anybody who just won cleanly on that one. And not only was that sack big to stop third down, but it also basically drove them out of field goal range.
It did. They're going to bring out the punt unit here, punting from the 34-yard line of the Giants with Tress Way. The fans early don't like that. And we get a timeout taken by the Giants. Some confusion with the Giants. They were trying to get their personnel. There's a flag down in the back. The Giants may have broken the huddle with 12.
First, charge timeout, New York Giants. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Let's see what's going to transpire here. They had put the flag down, and now it's been picked up by the back judge as the Giants got the timeout. Again, there is a little bit of a breeze tonight, and the breeze is going into the kicker's face as they go left to right on the TV here. So that's part of the reason why a 52-yard field goal is not the option at the moment for Joey Slott.
Isn't it fun, though, to be back in this stadium again with a big NFC East battle? And we used to live off of these things, and then they just seem to go away for 4 or 5 years.
Tress Way to kick it. Richie James is back. We just double-checked during that timeout. Giants did not have 12, even though that flag was dropped by the back judge. Timeout was good. James looked like he was going to fair catch it, but surprises everyone by returning it to the 30-yard line. So James really makes it a net of only 4 yards on that punt, surprising everyone by picking it up and returning it for 23 yards. So better field position for the Giants to take over at the 30.
Go, go, go.
Toyota, let's go places. By New Balance, we got new. And by Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Some of the faces, some of the places, Bill Parcells there, Joe Gibbs. What a great rivalry it has been over the years. A couple of playoff meetings and 180 in the regular season now with this one tonight. Saquon Barkley starts with the carry for the Giants, and he gets 3 yards. Handed the ball by Daniel Jones, the Giants quarterback. Took him in the top 10, 6th overall back in 2019 out of Duke. 4th season, a very good start to the year with those comeback wins for the Giants. Not as good the last 2 months, but his rush yards you saw there, 548. Been a big factor for this offense when it goes well. 3 for Barkley on first down. Saquon in motion. Jones throws inside and incomplete. Darius Slayton wanted the flag. There was no flag thrown. Danny Johnson on the coverage. We'll have third down coming up.
This is going to be a real battle up front for this New York Giants offensive line. The Commanders defensive line is just outstanding. Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, even without Chase Young, James Smith-Williams. That is the heart and soul of this team. They have to get pressure on Daniel Jones all night.
Smith-Williams was the one jumping around to go after Evan Neal, the right tackle. 3rd and 7. Jones throws. Incomplete. Blanket coverage by Johnson again, so 2 pass breakups on balls intended for Slayton, and the Giants are 3 and out to open up.
Same as the last game. Danny Johnson off on the right-hand side is going to be the guy that is going to be in the spotlight, especially playing that man coverage. And if he is able to answer like that, it's going to be a good night tonight for the Commanders.
Jamie Gillen dropped a snap last week against Philadelphia. Led to an Eagles touchdown. Dax Milne is back deep to receive. 2 lefty punters in this one. Fair catch signal, 37-yarder. Milne has it at the 30-yard line. Each team in possession halfway through this opening quarter. Along the tidal basin, the Jefferson Memorial in our nation's capital. Party this year, Dolly Parton joining the fun. Celebration you don't want to miss. Live New Year's Eve on NBC and streaming on Peacock. National Christmas tree on the ellipse right by the White House. Nice weekend here in the DMV. Temperature in the 30s. No precipitation at FedEx tonight. Drive 2 for Washington starts at their own 30. We want to welcome Wes Schweitzer back off the injured list as the Washington center got pushed over.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 5. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Thibodeau's been in the middle of a lot in the first half of this first quarter.
I love my man Wes Schweitzer there. Dexter Lawrence came off and tapped him, and he went full upside down turtle, kicking his legs. Yeah, attaboy. Sell it.
Ready!
Waiting. So 1st and 5, Brian Robinson following those burgundy jerseys. Big run into the secondary, still going. Robinson, 15 hard yards and a first down.
It's like watching the old Washington teams pulling across here. Little counter up and through. Big, strong running back in there. And Brian Robinson, who does not relent. Give him a little bit of a hole. Give him 5 yards. And then watch the big guys follow up from behind. That is fantastic. We are playing already some old school NFC East football.
It's become a nice 1-2 with Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson in the backfield. From midfield, Samuel got bumped by his own man. Again, Thibodeau forcing a play behind the line of scrimmage, drove Logan Thomas back to minimize the game.
Well, I welcome Kayvon Thibodeau. He's destroying everything out here, coming right up and taking Thomas right back into the play. Not often you see that, where not only does he destroy it in the beginning, but then able to bounce back, run around, and make the tackle as well.
This is the first couple of games this season. The knee injury at the end of preseason. Boy, has he come on of late. Inside, Gibson, fake, Heineke run on the edge, and a first down. You know, Heineke can scoot, maybe not the running impact that Daniel Jones has, but Heineke can take care of it on the ground as well.
Well, Kayvon Thibodeau that time comes in a little bit too hard, and Heineke takes advantage. He's going to chase down and make another play, and there goes Heineke right around him. So nice read on the read option that time by Heineke.
I think he's 29, his 8th year out of Old Dominion, but it's been a very long path to finally find a home. 39. This time Gibson gets it on the straight hand. They'll move to the 35-yard line, pick up about 4.
You know, it's interesting for me watching these two running backs, Brian Robinson. They're about the same size, really. They're about 6'1", 6'2", and 220 pounds. But Robinson is very much sort of that old school John Riggins, let's go right at you kind of thing. Whereas Antonio Gibson, a little shiftier, better in the passing game. So they really have been a nice complement to each other.
You think about it, Gibson at Memphis, his college, was a wide receiver.
Right.
So he's more comfortable there on the outside, but little Robinson showing him what he can do inside. He's following along. Here he is to the outside. Good blocking in front of him. Gibson to the 25-yard line. Washington controlling this quarter on the ground. Cole Turner, the rookie tight end, part of the blocking there.
There we go. Cam Sims, the wide receiver, comes down to be able to make a block on the edge there as well. And this is a problem. This has been the problem for the New York Giants all season. Can they stop the run? And you're looking at a very good running team. So now you get into the issue of if you start run blitzing, now you've got to go play one-on-one coverage on the outside against Jahan Dotson and scary Terry McLaurin.
Robinson, Gibson sharing it like Jones and Dillon in Green Bay. Zeke and Pollard in Dallas. Thibodeau again. He is having a quarter on the Washington side of the line of scrimmage. And he knows where the camera is, too. He is from L.A.
Yeah, here he comes. Here's Thibodeau. But on this one, Taylor Heineke had a chance for a huge play. Not only could he have run it when Thibodeau crashed down, he also had in the flat Jahan Dotson just wide open. All those options were available to Heineke on that one, and he made the one wrong decision.
Giants have run 3 plays. This is Washington's 17th of the opening quarter. 2nd and 12. Heineke swing it out. Gibson couldn't bring it in. Tried to get to it and could not. Pressure was coming from Azeez Ojulari for the Giants. Just checking. We have a couple of players who are slow to get up after a collision. One of them, Logan Thomas.
Big time collision right in the middle of the field. Everybody does these crossing routes thinking I'm going to pick somebody off, but you don't usually see people flying in the air like that. Really nothing intentional, just one of those things that happen. Big opportunity here for this Giants defense.
Field goal from here will be 45 yards.
Again, they go empty so that they can see the blitz that Wink Martindale likes to bring.
And that play clock was running down. The flag comes in.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So we're talking about Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator for the Giants. He and Brian Daboll didn't really know each other. Went up against each other, but didn't know each other. But Daboll hires Martindale, and for a rebuilding team, what a good defensive coordinator with that pressure he brings.
Well, and it's a good thing, too, because they've got so many people hurt in the secondary right now. You do not want these guys covering for too long on the back end, so they try to cover it up with pressure inside.
We have a flag thrown. We have a false start on Washington. So now they might be backing themselves out of field goal range. Robin DiLorenzo, the down judge, had it from that sideline.
False start. Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that's the rookie wide receiver, the 1st-round pick, Jahan Dotson out of Penn State.
You know, it's interesting. Yep. You only could do that when you're at home and the crowd is quiet enough where you can actually hear the snap count. When you're on the road, that would never happen.
Interesting. 2 penalties, backed them out of field goal range. See if they try to get some to get back in. They do. Samuel inside. Smart play call there. Give them about a 41-yard field goal attempt. So the 2 penalties were -10. That was +14 on the gain. It'll give Sly a reasonable shot at the opening points.
But it's mistakes, it's sacks, we've seen Washington moving the football pretty much at will, sort of between the 20s, but then it's been the mistakes driving them back.
So Joey Sly from 41 yards for the first points of the night. And Sly is having a good season, 21 out of 24 now, as he knocks that one through. Washington's controlled the game. Giants only have run 3 plays. Washington has the first 3 points. Tonight's aerial coverage is brought to you by Geico. What a place, what a city. It's been a while since we've been here. It's so nice to come back, because this is one of the great cities in the world. The amazing monuments. Took a long walk around the mall and all the beautiful spots that are DC yesterday, and just makes you so proud to live here.
Yeah, I love this town too. I walked all the way down to the gym today. That was great fun.
Well, I saw you in there, and you were watching the World Cup, and your feed was 2 seconds ahead of mine. So I was so angry at you. I'm like, stop it, Chris. Oh, man.
I'm not good at keeping secrets.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Washington's trying to get in the playoffs for the 2nd time in 3 years, and it was a similar season. Remember, in 2020, they were 2-7. Nobody was good in the NFC East. They won the division, played Brady and the Bucs. Heineke started that game. Tampa won, went on to win the Super Bowl. This year, a 1-4 start, and only 1 loss in their last 8 for Washington. And they are the one. They are the one team to beat Philadelphia this year. Slide kicks it. Brightwell lets it go. And we'll meet the Giants offense.
Daniel Jones, Duke.
Saquon Barkley, Penn State.
Isaiah Hodgins, Oregon State.
Darius Slayton, Auburn.
Richie James, MTSU.
Daniel Bellinger, San Diego State.
Andrew Thomas, Georgia.
Nick Gates, Nebraska.
John Feliciano, the U.
Mark Lewinsky, GAR Memorial High School.
Evan Neal, Alabama.
Neal, 1st-round pick, top 10 pick. They've got top 10 picks at either side at the tackle spots. Neal, number 7 overall this past draft. From the 25, Barkley out of the backfield, gains about 9 yards. Saquon Barkley is the most receptions of anyone on this Giants team, 43 now.
He's the difference maker. He really is. I know firsthand he was on my fantasy team this year. He tore up all the way through the beginning part of the season, but for about the last month, it really has not been happening. But now you can see they're going to try and involve him in any way that they can. Get him the football out there in the flat. That's easy.
Got 9. Now he'll get the first down on the run. We'll mark him across the 35-yard line. We spoke to him this week. Didn't you sense that he was ready for a heavy load to carry the game for the Giants tonight?
Yeah, he is. And you know, he had as he described it, nicked up his neck a little bit in practice. And so I think that a week ago, they really held him out. He had 20 snaps in that game and probably getting him ready for this one.
The game against Philadelphia, he was very limited. He's got 3 in a row this time, running off the left side. That's about 4 yards to the 40-yard line against this Commanders defense.
Montez Sweat, Kapile Lincoln.
Deron Payne, Alabama.
Jonathan Allen, Alabama.
John Ridgway III, Illinois State.
James Smith-Williams, North Carolina State.
Jamin Davis, Kentucky.
Kendall Fuller, Virginia Tech.
Cameron Curl, Muskogee High School.
Derek Forrest Jr., Cincinnati. Bobby McCain, Memphis.
Danny Johnson, the Southern University.
And this is the side of the ball that's turned around. They are top 5 in the league in yards per game. Only giving up 16 points a game the last 8. It's a false start on the right tackle, Neal, I believe.
False start. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, you can see already that they're going to put Montez Sweat over there, over Evan Neal. A lot of times Sweat will play on the other side, but they wanted that matchup. Neal struggled his last time out. An excellent run blocker, high first-round pick, but he is going to be challenged tonight blocking. 2 first-round picks out there playing on the outside at tackle. Both of them have to be great tonight.
Washington wanted movement again. They don't get it. Jones takes off and runs. Takes a hard hit from Cam Curl. It goes to the 40-yard line.
Daniel Jones over 500 yards rushing this season, and it is very much a big part of his game to deliver in the key moments running the ball.
So it's 3rd and 6, back end of the quarter. See if the Giants sneak the play in. Motion, a lot of pointing, a lot of lifting the leg. And we'll see in the second quarter. After 1 here in Washington. Commanders 3, Giants nothing. Time to check in with Maria Taylor for the Toyota studio here in Washington. And Ron Rivera is walking over to Melissa Stark. Melissa.
Mike, I have head coach Ron Rivera here. What were you just talking to the refs about?
Oh, just talking about some things that have gone out there on the field. Nothing serious.
Okay, so you have 3 points. You've had the ball a lot, but how do you get in the end zone?
Well, the biggest thing is we can't hurt ourselves. We took a sack when we shouldn't have just gotten rid of the ball. Another time we false started, and so we moved backwards, didn't give ourselves a chance to get the first down.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Melissa, thank you. Ron Rivera, 9 years as the Carolina head coach. Took the Panthers to Super Bowl 50 and really has been a steady voice and force during tumultuous times with this franchise. Out of the quarter break, 3rd and 6 for Daniel Jones and the Giants. 3 to the right, all in the pattern. Jones trying to get out, twisted as he threw. Isaiah Hodgins caught it, but he's going to be kept short of the first down. Bobby McCain brings him down, and the Giants will kick it away.
Close enough. We talked about the matchup. Here it comes right around the edge. It's going to be Montez Sweat against Evan Neal, and just get used to it. That's going to be happening all night long. Good job by Daniel Jones just giving it a chance. But Bobby McCain, the slot defender out there with a huge tackle.
So the Giants get their first down of the game on that drive, but have to kick it away, and Jamie Gillen send it to Dax Milne one more time. Lefty Scottish kicker. Fair caught by Milne at the 18-yard line. Washington takes over in a moment. We're back in 30 seconds after this from AWS.
AWS is helping the NFL transform player health and safety. AI analyzes millions of data points, powering unlimited simulations to continuously improve equipment and training, and help predict potential injuries faster than any human. Because when it comes to player safety, nothing matters more.
Back here in Washington, in Landover, technically, you see the play distribution so far. Control this game by Washington. The Giants, they made a living in those close games early on. First 7 games, all one-possession games. Part of their 6-1 start. The Giants have only beaten Houston in their last 6. First down to run inside for maybe 2 yards with Antonio Gibson starting this drive in the backfield. And Chris, there you see Scott Turner, offensive coordinator for the Commanders.
Yeah, it was Scott Turner, actually, who told Taylor Heineke, forget about coaching. He was thinking about coaching. He said, forget about that. You got playing time left.
Calls an edge run here. Julian Love makes the tackle. There's a flag down, and where that opened up for Gibson. So the gain of 11 for the moment. We'll see if it holds up.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Cornelius Lucas, who's been the starter at right tackle the last 9.
Yeah, they had the unbalanced formation going that time. They took their right tackle, flipped him over to left tackle to try to get that play off the edge. It worked, but as so often happens, when the defender starts to release, that's when the officials can see that little grab of the shoulder pads there. And that brought that play way back. Tight call.
From the 10, second and 18. Thibodeau got there, got the ball out, scooped it and scored. Touchdown Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau. What a play around the edge. Got to Heineke's arm. He gets the grand slam, he gets the sack, the forced fumble, the fumble recovery, and the touchdown.
He's having a career in the first half. Check this out. He goes straight to the bull rush here and then extends those arms, gets him off, gets the sack, gets the fumble, scoop it, score it. Oh, my goodness. What a start to this game for Kayvon Thibodeau. You knew it was in there. You saw it in college. You just waited for him to explode, and there it is in the first half of the biggest game of the year.
Graham Gano adds the extra point. It is the defensive edge rusher dream play. And Thibodeau got them all. Knocked it out, scooped it, scored. Giants the first touchdown of the game. Big Blue on top, 7-3.
Back at FedEx Field, where Kayvon Thibodeau just scored the Giants' first touchdown of the night. He was asked this week if he likes prime time. His answer, prime time likes me. He has a big old personality, always has something to say. He told me he's a guy who in big moments heightens his game. He said, I'm a closer, I'm outspoken, I was born with emotion. I'm honest with myself and the team. He thinks as a football player, there's an expectation you're supposed to suppress your emotions and compartmentalize. He said, I'm human, I like to keep it fresh.
Well, he certainly showed all of that in his play there. Antonio Gibson, nice kick return to the 32. It's where Washington and Taylor Heineke will take over. If you've been to D.C., maybe you've been on a tour of the monuments. Well, Kirk Cousins, the bus driver for this franchise, 2015-2017, going well. Since then, it has been a search for somebody new to lead the tour. 11 different starting quarterbacks. It ties the most in a 5-year span in the NFL, but Heineke is the one who has stabilized this. Highest win percentage in 20 start minimum since Brad Johnson a couple of decades ago. Right when this stadium was only 2 or 3 years old. And Heineke gave it up in the last play, handed to Robinson on the run here, and he's been the best looking part of the Washington offense so far. To the 45-yard line, And a first down for Robinson.
Well, it really was about the same time during the season after their slow start that not only did Brian Robinson come back, but Taylor Heineke came in and took over this football team. And that 1-2 punch, I think a little bit, the backup quarterback, they started running more, didn't throw it quite as much, but there's something about that guy and what he brings to that huddle that's made a difference.
What a play for Landon Collins coming up to make the tackle. It is flashback day here. Landon Collins, who started with the Giants, was with Washington, released, and now he's playing for the Giants again.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me at all that he was brought up for this game because Landon Collins has always been known as that down-in-the-box kind of player. And obviously what scared the Giants in this one, could Washington just take the ball and pound it and pound it and pound it. But when you bring in a Landon Collins, that tends to offset some of that advantage.
Second and 10, John Dotson was the move man. Robinson turns the corner and gains 11. Lost it out of bounds, but they'll mark him at the 44, and it's a first down. So we alluded to it a couple of times. Brian Robinson drafted in the 3rd round. The plan was he was going to be a huge part of their running game. And then the preseason's done. And then on August 28th, he gets shot multiple times in the leg in an attempted carjacking just a couple of blocks away from the Capitol. Out for all that time. 42 days later, he debuts Week 5 against Tennessee. And his return meant football positive, but also positive enthusiasm and cohesiveness in the facility as well when he came back.
It really did, but when you try to picture what that young man went through, 2 teenagers not old enough to drive, finish in a minute.
Heineke taking a shot. He got hit, put it up top. It is incomplete. Fans screaming for a penalty, but nothing coming. Dami Brown tried to turn the corner on those DBs and tripped up on them. The pressure came from Dexter Lawrence of the Giants.
Let's start right here. Dexter Lawrence, such a key part of this defense, and the defensive line here going to come in here and get the hit that really just sort of threw Heineke off stride. Was there enough? I didn't see it. Terry?
Feet entanglement. They're both playing the ball, Chris. Not a foul.
Terry McCauley, 3-time Super Bowl ref, weighing in there. And here's Lawrence, who hit the quarterback last time, tackling Antonio Gibson. Gain of 4 there, and it brings up 3rd and 6, 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence is just one of those guys that is such a difference maker on the football team. Arguably their best on their defensive side of the ball here, and he has just been dominant inside. And when Leonard Williams plays alongside him, they're tough to move. Really great defensive interior players in this game.
3rd and 6, empty backfield again. Heineke throws. It is incomplete from the back end. Jason Pinnock there to break it up. Bang, bang play. No flag thrown. Washington will punch it away.
Man, we're going now. I mean, this just feels like one of those old-time games in this division. Little contact, little shove, a little shot to the head, all that sort of stuff. Good NFC East football.
Tress Wade drops it nose down. Try to keep it inside the 10. The bounce is really good. The Giant was in the way. Washington trying to gain control without stepping on the end line, and it looks for the moment as if they did. Cam Sims, an outstanding gunner for this Washington team, was one of the players in the mix. And the officials are going to have a conversation to make sure it was kept in the proper place. Anybody touching the line when they touch the ball? What a play by Sims. Got rid of it in time. And I think everybody else kept their feet off the line. For the moment, it's a touchback and a long field for the Giants. 4:40 into this second quarter. 7-3. Giants on top. Wild start. 2-week holiday event. Celebrities help contestants tackle trivia and win big. The Wheel starts tomorrow at 10/9 Central on NBC and streaming on Peacock. You know, the kids come home from school and they love to show you that they're smarter than you. And they are.
Doesn't take much.
Not at all. The ball's going to be marked at the 3-yard line after the terrific work by the special teams of Washington, coached by Nate Kazar. First down run inside for, let's see, about 3 yards. We'll mark it out at the 6 for Saquon Barkley. New guard in there for the Giants, Ben Bredesen, who's been out, has returned, and is slotted in now, 68 in white.
Yeah, he was on IR with a knee, and week 7, he did start the first 7 games, so they sort of returned to where they began.
Joshua Ezeudu went on IR for the Giants this week. Shane Lemieux, another one of their linemen, out, toe injury. Giants looking for anything to get some offense going. His own end zone, Jones will turn and flip and throw to Nick Van at the tight end. He get out to the 20-yard line. Just his second grab of the season. First down, Giants.
Good call there, it really was. They saw the 5-man front up there for Washington. They were trying to play the run, make them stuff them right across the board here, go to the bootleg, but even when they did the bootleg, they left their tight end to make sure that Daniel Jones could get on the edge and make that throw.
Go. His third completion of the night. There's his fourth. Saquon Barkley in the open field. Bobby McCain will twist and turn him around to about the 23-yard line. Gain of 3. Phenomenal rookie season for Barkley, although the Giants weren't very good in 2018, and then the ACL injury in 2020. Came back last year, 593 yards, but this year, boy, the start of the season, he looked like he was healthy and finally the guy we saw at Penn State and early in his career. Start of the night, 4th in the league in rushing, over 1,000 yards. 2nd and 6, here he is on another swing. Oh, great move in the open field. He dropped John Bostic to the ground, and the Giant bench and the Giant fans loved that.
This is when you come back in the meeting, they put on the film the next day, and you hear everybody sitting there watching it go, ooh-wee. They usually can do it right together, too. That was some move.
Sound like our friend Jason McCourty.
Yeah, that's
Turn that into a segment.
Yeah, you're right. He was right. That's exactly what they do.
From the 30, Barkley to the left. Not going to get away from it this time. Stretched out by one of those 2 stud interior tackles. That's Jonathan Allen, 6th year out of Alabama.
You don't want to give an edge to Jonathan Allen. Here you're going to have John Feliciano, the center, try and cut him off. There is just no way. And it was interesting talking to Saquon about playing this defensive line. He said, you go into it, you know that's going to happen a couple times during the day. These guys are just that good.
Barkley a break. Matt Breida is the back, but he's out at a receiver position. Empty for Jones, throws it inside. Gain of 6 to Richie James with McCain over there, along with John Bostic on the tackle. And the Giants set to face 3rd and long past halfway in the 2nd quarter.
So many receivers missing off of this Giants team. They started the year Sterling Shepard, Wan'Dale Robinson, the draft pick, Kadarius Toney. And now they've got the guys that are just slugging it out there for them, and got them to this opportunity now to get in the playoffs.
Kenny Golladay back healthy, but a rare contributor for this Giants offense right now. Third and 9. Washington bringing 5. Jones gets rid of it. It's caught for the first down by James. At the 42, Daniel Jones stays in, takes the hit, delivers the first down.
Nice job by Daniel Jones that time. He saw he was going to get whacked on this one, and he did. As soon as he let this football go, kept his eye right on the target, took the shot, and picked up a huge first down. Pretty play by Daniel Jones.
Percy Butler is second late. Jones had good completion percentage numbers in the first meeting. 2 weeks ago. Inside run, Matt Breida. Gained about 4 or 5 yards until Jonathan Allen can bring him down. Whistle's going, play to the echo of the whistle. Like you said, one of those division games, that's the expectation level, both sides here tonight.
Yeah, and this is a good running football team. If they can stay with it as well. I mean, Evan Neal, I think, is growing as a pass protector. He's still got a few technique things he could do better. But Andrew Thomas grew like that on the other side when he was considered to be, maybe he's not so good early in his career. Now he's one of the best in the NFL.
2nd and 5, surveying is Jones in traffic and is caught. Was he touched? Hodgins says no. Gets up and runs to the 33-yard line with good awareness as Derek Forrest finally pushed him out of bounds. And Barkley's telling him go quick so they can't catch a replay of it. It's 21 on the game. As he slapped and touched by Fuller. Red challenge flag thrown by Ron Rivera.
The runner is ruled down by contact at the 47-yard line.
That was a good play by Kendall Fuller. He only got a couple of fingertips on him, but that was enough.
So the Giants are asking for a reset of the play clock as the ball was moved back, and they will get that reset to 25. But Isaiah Hodgins, again, Chris just went through all the receivers the Giants don't have. They started with Buffalo as a November 1st waiver claim. They had a very good move for a touchdown in the meeting at MetLife 2 weeks ago. 4.5 to the half. Jones sharp here tonight. Again, it's Hodgins to the 40-yard line. That's 7 yards on first down.
It's really so good by Daniel Jones. And in my opinion, this is what he does best. It really is. When they go to those sort of, I call them day one installs, some of the basic plays of an offense. He can catch it. He can throw it. He cannot get attacked by this defensive line, get the ball out of his hands. He's very good at the quick read throws in this offense.
Chris, he missed his first 2 passes. He's hit his last 9. His career best is 11 in a row. Now we'll give it to Barkley. Got a nice block by Breida to get the first down. Right past the sticks at the 36-yard line. So the Giants, who had 2 drives, but they did not do much, started this one back inside their own 5 and have moved it to Washington territory.
Yeah, nice read here. Watch that end come crashing down inside. That was a read option all the way. Daniel Jones made the right read and allowed Saquon to get out around the edge. This is one terrific drive so far by Daniel Jones.
Mentioned Kenny Golladay earlier. There he is at the top of the screen, closest to the Giants sideline. Play 12 of the drive. Jones going inside, incomplete. Daniel Bellinger, the tight end, was one of the 2 along with Barkley in the vicinity.
Now, one of the things that Saquon Barkley talked to us about, and rightly so, was that tonight, as much as he's the leading pass receiver on this football team, tonight's the night on the way out in your route. You have to get a piece of somebody, and he's been doing that all night long. A lot of soft shell coverages here from Washington. Opportunity to run if they would like.
False start. I wonder if he was trying to change to something there, and seeing what you saw. Play clock was running down.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's the second one of those on Neal tonight.
Yeah, it's one of the problems, especially for young players, when you get into that sequence and you are changing the play, the snap count changes, right? So when does it officially start up again? And when you've been in the offense for a while, you go, okay, I've got it. Some of the young players, they make those mistakes, and he's made a few tonight.
Second and long. Protection here. Crossing Breida. Get the penalty yardage back. It'll be 3rd and a long 9 as we dive under 3 minutes till halftime. Breida was with Brian Daboll in Buffalo. Of course, Brian was the offensive coordinator with Josh Allen, helped build that Bills offense to that terrific couple of seasons they were together in Orchard Park.
This is another one of those moments here. If you could hit one of those quick slants, maybe break a tackle, and not have to take a chance on a sack to drive you out of field goal range.
Field goal from here is 53 yards. Jones surveys. Will he use his legs? Out of the pocket. Just dumps it. Gets rid of it, and he got hit hard at the end, too. James Smith-Williams, who's played a lot in the absence of Chase Young, was the man there. It's 4th down. We haven't seen the field goal unit yet. And the breeze is coming just in the kicker's face a little bit here. We were watching him in warm-ups. This was right the edge of the range here. About 51 was the longest we had with Gano going in this direction.
But if you were going to kick a field goal, wouldn't you have taken a shot at just running the ball or a short, quick pass there? Maybe trying to get him to jump. Who knows?
He's going to take a timeout. Play clock was winding down inside of 5. Game clock wasn't running, so one timeout left for the Giants. This has happened fast, but that's exactly what we expected. You said it at the very beginning. It is so nice to have this division so good, and games like this have this December juice.
Yeah, and so many of the losses are going to come within that division. So you begin to wonder come playoff time, could 3 of them make it? Could 4 of them make it into the playoffs? And if, in fact, they do, is this division going to harden the teams inside it to where they'd be a real threat in the playoffs and maybe end up playing each other in some of the championship games?
Well, we've seen that over the last couple of years. The tough part for the loser of this game is they are a half game ahead of Seattle and Detroit, who are chasing from behind in the 8 and 9 spots. Seattle's slowing down. Detroit's red hot, and Detroit beat both of these teams earlier in the regular season. So we're going to have a lot of interesting games the next 3 weeks.
Go ahead and give Detroit a little love, man. I tell you what, those guys are playing right now.
The fans who didn't hide there are out of the woodwork. They are enjoying the nice run Dave Campbell's team has put together. As are the fans of these two teams. 4th and 9. Barkley back next to Jones. Washington brings 4. Jones fires. It's caught for the first down. One more time with Richie James, who earlier in the week was in concussion protocol, cleared it, and has been big in this first half for the Giants.
Oh, was that so good by Richie James right there. I wasn't sure he was going to make it. He just forced his way into that first down.
Giants keep the drive alive with a 4th down conversion at the 2-minute warning. Driving and leading by 4.
Whitney Houston.
New Peacock original limited series, The Best Man. The final chapter is starting December 22nd. It'll be streaming for you only on Peacock. 2 minutes remaining here in the half. What a drive by the Giants. This play 16 started back at their own 3. Daniel Jones, pressure coming in the middle, throws complete. Hodgins to the 5-yard line. Isaiah Hodgins with the catch and run. Gain of 19 and a timeout taken by Washington.
I love watching these receivers for Washington. I mean, these guys, Isaiah Hodgins was cut by Buffalo. Nobody really expected anything out of Richie James. Little dig, crossing route, just find the soft area in the zone right there. And Daniel Jones is feeling it here. And this is exactly, if you're a Giants fan, you got to make a decision on this guy, right? You don't pick up the 5th-year option. Anybody else would be a little sensitive to that. Daniel Jones doesn't really seem to care. Could he handle the big game pressure? Here they are, one of the biggest games of the season. And he's been playing great so far.
Well, some of the fans have made their decision, but he's trying to change some of those minds. And Joe Shane, the GM, is the one who's trying to figure this out. He came with Brian Daboll in their first year. He was an assistant to Brandon Beane, who's built a terrific team in Buffalo. Shane was a big part of that. And the Giants are starting their rebuild. This roster has a lot more to overturn. But you said it. The big decisions are, what do you do at quarterback? What do you do at running back? Will those 8 and 26 jerseys still be usable in the next year or 2?
I think they both come back. I really do.
Having a good drive here. 1st and goal from the 5. Jones pulls it, keeps it, and runs for 2 to the 3-yard line. And we have a second timeout taken here by the Commanders with 1:44 to go, trying to preserve some clock for themselves on the end of this Giants drive.
Maria, Tony, Jason coming up on the Toyota halftime.
Bad final minute for the Patriots. Justin Herbert strikes again.
We'll see you at the half. Back to you, Mike.
We saw Justin Herbert last Sunday night. Chargers on a little bit of a roll. Some crazy finishes, been crazy, and a great couple of days in sports. So the Giants have driven it down from their own 3 to the Washington 3. The head coaches up top there, Mike Kafka and Jack Del Rio, longtime Jacksonville head coach. And matching minds here at the moment. Second and goal for the Giants. Direct snap, Saquon Barkley. He'll take it to the left, and Barkley will score! Terrific play calling wrinkle there. Direct snap to Barkley. Runs it in for the touchdown. And the Giants cap one of their best drives in a long time and extend the lead to double digits.
Very athletic play by the big guys up front. Daniel Jones definitely was not going to be a lead blocker here. And for Saquon Barkley, a chance to catch it, see it, read it, score it. How about the first half by the New York Giants on the road?
Graham Gano for the extra point. 18 plays, 97 yards. It started at their own 3. Saquon Barkley, who said in games like this, you gotta be the guy. It's one of the bigger Giant games he's played in his career, and his team is up 11.
It's been a while. The East has been down for a little while.
A terrific run! Unbelievable! Saquon Barkley, touchdown Giants!
NFC East is loaded.
Magnificent!
Flagship franchises of the National Football League. Big markets, big profile. I always used to say you couldn't afford to rebuild in the NFC East. Everybody expected championship level quality football from these teams. But a few of them have been in rebuild mode of late. But what a comeback it's been for this division this year. Brought back by Antonio Gibson on the kick return. Looking for that lane and brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
All right, let's take a look at the Walmart Plus 4K Sky Cam. And how about Dexter Lawrence, one of the best for the Giants football team, going against Wes Schweitzer all night long. He's been drawing some double teams. Schweitzer more than holding his own, though, in there. Had a good first half. And they'll finally, old Dexter Lawrence got around and got some pressure, forced him up into the sack. Good stuff happening with these defensive tackles on both sides of the ball here tonight.
Lawrence out for the moment. Washington has one timeout, operating from the 21-yard line. And Taylor Heineke will try to get to work. Thibodeau closing in on him, and he gets rid of it incomplete. Kayvon Thibodeau had some help there as well, as Ojulari was closing from the other side.
Is this the best first half we've seen out of anybody this year? It's unbelievable. Thibodeau has just been putting on a show out here tonight, and he is the reason that they are in the position they're in right now.
Everything happened so fast, didn't even get to it. Thibodeau knocked that ball out from Heineke. This time he recovered. He did the same thing a couple of weeks ago at MetLife. Didn't come up with a recovery, but here came up with one of the big plays of this game. 1:33 to go. Heineke gets it out and completes it. Terry McLaurin, get him going. Right at the first down marker. Second grab of the night for the best receiver on the Commanders.
Yeah, and they have to get Terry McLaurin involved. And when you talk to some of these Giants coaches and players, if they held him under 100 yards, felt like that was a great night, but so far a non-factor.
From the 31, here is Heineke in a tight space. What a big hit on Curtis Samuel, taken down by Tony Jefferson, the former Baltimore Raven. Washington asking for a flag. Clock keeps running. There's contact with the helmets as he had turned to run. Given time to be a defended, not defenseless, receiver after he caught it. Down to 40 seconds left. Heineke underneath, caught by Gibson, and ruled down at the 36-yard line. Washington's going to have to take this final timeout here. They will. with 34 seconds remaining.
Not the New York Giants, it's the New York Thibodeaus tonight. He has put on a show, whether it's against the run, little tackle for loss there, whether it's blowing the tight end back into the jet sweep, or whether it's just taking people down in the run game. And here it was, the play of the night so far. The sack, the strip, the recovery, the touchdown, the oxygen. He needed everything out there. But he has had a night so far. Remember that name, Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Chris, he has played 23 plays. He's been in on 7 tackles. 1 of every 3 stops. 3 for a loss, a sack, a forced fumble, the recovery, and the touchdown like we just talked about. What a sensational half. So 30.
Agent's on hold.
He's still on his rookie deal. It's year 1. 34 seconds left. 3rd and 5. Heineke in trouble. Escapes. Throws sideline, incomplete. Good coverage on the back end by Tony Jefferson, who had the big hit earlier. And Washington got a first down, but they have to kick it away with 25 seconds till halftime.
What a half. I mean, really, what a half by the New York Giants. He just could not have gone any better. 1 offensive touchdown, 1 defensive touchdown. They've been able to stop the run for the most part of this Washington Commanders football team. They have been tremendous in the biggest game of the year.
Trestway with the left-footed boot. Fielded at the 15. James catching and running, and Richie hits it out of bounds to the sideline, right around 26-yard line. We're back in 30 seconds.
Downey Unstoppables wants to use my face for their Super Bowl ad, but I haven't agreed yet because I don't believe it keeps your clothes fresh for over 12 weeks. So I'm going to sniff this thing into the Super Bowl to see if it's true. But until then, I'm totally hiding my identity.
It's pretty obvious who you are.
Hush your mouth, Super Bowl puppy. You don't know me. Smells great now, but we'll see. The clock is ticking, Downey.
Over 12 weeks of freshness. You gotta sniff it to believe it.
Giants get the ball to start the second half, so they will take a knee, and I would imagine Chris be very satisfied with their first 30 minutes.
And Ron Rivera is going to be very dissatisfied with the first 30 minutes. Not a good showing so far by Washington.
One injury note, Nick Van Nett, the tight end for the Giants, in the locker room getting x-rayed. Long drive for the Giants, and the play by Thibodeaux. Their 2 touchdowns. They lead Washington by 11, get the ball to start the second half. But first, it's the Toyota halftime with Maria, Tony, and Jason.
All right, thanks, Mike. And Tony was the guy who told us that the Giants played it better in the first meeting. Here they are.
Giants defensive line kind of stealing the show from the Washington group.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones has been awfully sharp.
All right, well, we've seen some comebacks already here in Week 15, but nothing will match what happened in Vegas earlier. The unbelievable finish between the Pats and the Raiders, Bill Belichick's thoughts afterwards, and the latest on the playoff picture. That's all coming up next.
Want more stats? Just ask Siri, who leads the league in rushing yards.
The use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Week 15 concludes with Monday Night Football on ABC and ESPN. Then Week 16 kicks off Thursday night on Prime Video. Stream games live on your mobile phone with NFL Plus.
Tonight's first half highlights are brought to you by Chevrolet.
It's New York and Washington, and it means a lot in the NFC East. Sounds good, doesn't it? On Sunday Night Football.
When I go out there tonight, I'm playing for you.
Some old school NFC East football. It is game on already.
Thibodeaux got there, got the ball out, scooped it and scored. Touchdown, Giants.
Woo-wee.
Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Give me a 10 on your woo-wee there, Collinsworth. That was good. New York plus 11 as we go to the third quarter. Here's how we got there. That Giant drive, 18 plays, most plays in a drive in 8 years, 97 yards. And it took up a long time in that second quarter. You saw the Thibodeaux play. 7 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, the sack, the forced fumble, and the first touchdown of the night. For Washington, just under 60% of their offense coming with Brian Robinson Jr. Can they get something going in the pass game? They have not so far. Taylor Heineke, 7 of 13, just 55 yards in that first half. Again, the importance of this game, both teams are tied at 7-5-1. The one coming in the 2020 tie 2 weeks ago at MetLife Stadium. So the winner here will be a game ahead, plus have the tiebreaker against the team that loses here. So essentially they'll be 2 up with 3 to go on this team that loses here tonight as they battle for wild card position. Gary Brightwell from the 3 will start the second half with his kickoff return. He will get to the 27-yard line, and we'll go to Melissa Stark.
Mike, I said to Giants head coach Brian Daboll, that was a pretty good first half. He looked at me, smiled, and said, I appreciate that. And then he laughed. He laughed, and he said, it was a good first half. We've got another second half to play, and we expect to hit some bumps. Yes, our guys came to play. As for Kayvon Thibodeau, he said he is a generator. Nothing he does surprises me.
That's so Brian.
You
know,
right? Yep.
I appreciate that.
12 of 16 for Daniel Jones in the first half. Add 1 to each column on the pass to Darius Slayton, the fourth-year man out of Auburn, with the grab and a good first down gain of about 6.
You know, it's so interesting. I came into this game thinking that it was likely going to be Washington's pass rush that would be the major issue in the game, and yet it has been the New York Giants. It's those quick throws now by Daniel Jones that really has kept that pass rush at bay.
Turn and hand to Barkley, working inside. Saquon Barkley, forward progress over the 35-yard line, and that will give Barkley the first down. Not eye-popping numbers for Barkley in that first half, just 7 carries and 13 yards, but keep the chains going there.
But you can tell when a back's feeling it just a bit. This spin move right here, he was under pressure, he saw it, he was able to escape it instead of a gain of nothing or 1. You know, pick up 2, 3, 4 yards.
The 35 pressure comes. He tries to swing it to Barkley, and James Smith-Williams was out there waiting for him. So Washington dials up a little more intensity on defense.
Yeah, and just when you needed a bad throw, Daniel Jones delivered, because if Barkley had caught that ball, he was going to take a face mask full of that one. James Smith-Williams read that perfectly, got out into the space, and that was going to be a headache.
Again, still missing the 2020 Defensive Rookie of the Year, Chase Young. Thought he might go, make his season debut tonight after the ACL last year, but he is inactive again. That is Slayton. Set up 3rd and 3 for the Giants.
It's interesting that Darius Slayton, who's that, Chase over there?
It's Chase, yep.
Chase Young over on the sideline, and we'll talk about him, where he really, they feel like that he is going to be a factor, and they just have to put themselves in position for him to be a factor. Where they were hoping he was going to be a factor was here tonight.
Once again, empty on 3rd down. And Jones, nothing open, throws it late and incomplete. It was tough for Richie James to catch. Impossible, really. John Bostic had him covered. Giants get a first down, but now they'll kick it away.
Washington's going to get back in the game. It's going to happen with this matchup right here. Sweat has been having a night so far against Neal. Now, it's not a disaster, right? But it did force the incompletion because it forced Jones to step up and basically throw it away.
3rd punt of the night for Jamie Gillen. Dax milling the weights, fair catch. Back of the 9. It's a good hang time on the kicks from Gillen tonight. Take it down North Capitol Street to the U.S. Capitol on this Sunday before Christmas. Studio 54. This is Studio 5.4, like in what the Giants are allowing per carry. That's what the Eagles did to the Giants defense last week. 150-plus rushing yards each of the last month. I mean, everybody's being let in. There's no defense stopping anybody from getting it at this point. The 54, 5.4 yards allowed per carry, highest in team history. But tonight, different tune, if you get my drift. Wake Martindale and the Giants defense has been better in the run defense and limited the Commanders in the air. Heineke, first down pass is complete to the 28-yard line with Terry McLaurin. That's what they need to get going. 18 for McLaurin.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to have to do, is start throwing on some early downs, because that's when you're seeing the Giants up around the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run. So there's no reason to beat your head against the wall, although they've run the ball really well. There hasn't been a problem in running the ball. It's just a matter of you've got to take a few shots here as well.
Ready. 27, they'll go back to the air again on first down, and this throw is caught by McLaurin at the 40-yard line. We had a chance to visit with him, and he got paid around $70 million, 3-year contract, but the kind of guy you want to invest in.
The minute he walked in the room, right, we're having a conversation, he left, and you're like, all right, I get it. You know, he's the guy. Yeah, he's the total package. And it does not surprise me at all, whether it was Terry or one of the coaches in at halftime went, throw me the ball. Yeah. Let me get this offense jump-started. They come right out here in the second half and do exactly that.
Where's the captaincy? But he is the guy in this Washington team. They get it to De'Ami Brown. Around the edge, Brown to the 45-yard line. 3 crisp, good plays to begin the second half for Washington.
And anytime you get into some of this, you want those defensive linemen chasing your quarterback, and you saw it there. It was Williams who was trying to make a play chasing and just did not see the reverse coming back around. But this has been explosive. This has been much more of what we thought we might see. And Thibodeau, he still looks like he's gassed over there.
Plays of 18, 13, and 15 yards to start the second half for Washington, down 11. Confusion here. Logan Thomas heads up field early. Robinson on the handoff for a couple of yards, and a flag is thrown on that far side.
Yeah, it really did look like Logan Thomas was going downhill towards the line of scrimmage by the time that ball was snapped.
Line judge Carl Johnson dropped the flag.
Illegal motion. Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's going to come in motion, but watch when he goes back. He's kind of going downhill before that ball is snapped. We've seen a few other teams do that.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
We have a stoppage for a moment. We have a pitch invasion, if you will, with someone on the field who will be removed. And we'll enjoy the remainder of this holiday week somewhere else. You mentioned we thought we'd see that somewhere in the past. Last week I thought we'd see it. Miami does that a lot as Tyreek Hill makes that turn and gets up to speed a little bit quicker, but we see it here this week.
Rivera's saying, I thought about it. I was going to give him the old clothesline, but, you know, my lawyers advised against it. But I tell you who did walk over there, Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin thought about taking that guy
out, did he?
Too.
Right?
Oh, yeah. He got within about 3 or 4 yards, and then he decided otherwise.
1st and 15. After the penalty, high for McLaurin, brings it in. Got a nice block. There goes McLaurin into the secondary gain of 20.
8 guys down in the box, one-on-one on the outside, and so what do? Just get the football to your best players. Let them go make plays, whether it's Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, whoever it is, in the key moments of the game. When your team needs a lift, it is not the play that you call, it is the player to whom that play is called.
And there are some of the guys who are like that for this franchise. He joins them, 3 straight, over 1,000. Crowd chanting his name from the 30. Heineke throws underneath, caught by Jahan Dotson. Dotson threw the nice block on the last play, rewarded here with a catch and very close to another first down.
So you've got everybody down in the box, right? They're anticipating run. Here we go. We're going to run blitz over here. We're going to do this and that. And oh boy, here we go. The bootleg, and there is nobody home. And everybody has to pay attention now to Terry McLaurin. So this offense now that was really stymied to some extent, especially the passing game, opening up here to start this second half.
5 double-digit yard gains on this drive. Heineke looking for the end zone. Touchdown! Dotson! The rookie gets his 6th of the season.
Oh, I know why he's so good now. This inside technique. He knows it's man. Push down. Little wiggle to the outside. And then break it right across his face. Just perfectly done. Nobody's been able to cover him. Ron Rivera, he knew of people, family members there that knew all about Penn State and said, Coach, nobody can cover this guy here. And nobody can cover him for the New York Giants either.
Taylor Heineke, slow first half start. Terrific on that drive to begin this second half. So Washington will go for 2 to make it a 3-point game.
I think they did a little coaching at halftime.
I think you are right. Robinson the back. Mobility of Heineke always good in 2-point situations. Washington 2 of 6 trying this year. 3 of 7 is Samuel. Catches it for 2, but a flag is down. Let's see if that was a pick play, an offensive pass interference. 2 flags thrown on the play. Down judge and side judge threw it in.
Pass interference. Offense number 1. We'll replay the try.
The one thing that you know is that the guy who had the man coverage did not get picked. So there was a collision with the guy.
Yard line and go for 1 point. They have elected to do so.
So backs up 10 and becomes a 43-yard extra point.
The guy that if they had been trying to pick someone never got touched. That guy never got touched. There was a collision between the outside receiver and the man over him, but it really did not impact the guy who was in coverage.
If they wanted to go for 2, it would be from the 12, with a 10-yard walk-off on the offensive pass interference. So it's a 43-yard extra point try for Joey Slye. And he missed it. So instead of being a 3-point game, it is a 6-point game. 5-point game. Get that right. 14-9 is the correct score. Slye missed it to the right. 14-9. Giant lead is 5. Down. Ron Rivera has spent most of this timeout in a very heated conversation with the officials about the call down there. We'll get one more look at it and Terry McCauley's opinion on it momentarily. Touchback here. Giants will take over the 25. Terry, let me give you the first swing. Walk us through what you see here.
Yeah, Mike, he seeks out this defender. It's not a classic pick play, as Chris said, but he's blocking downfield. He seeks him out and engages in a blocking posture, and the ball's thrown right underneath him. So this is a foul for offensive pass interference.
All right, I'm going to give you the wide receiver version of that one. You're releasing to the outside. The defensive back initiates contact like he does on every single play out there. And so just because there's somebody coming in the flat, now it's a foul. There you go.
And here we go, 14-9. Giants by 5. Daniel Jones back to work. Here's the toss to Slayton. Gain is 7 yards. Terry would love to continue the conversation. We'll do that offline.
Oh, we will for sure.
I know we will. I
have more fun with Terry than anybody.
I know.
I mean, I get exactly what he's saying.
Yes.
I totally understand the point of what he's doing. I'm just saying on any other play other than that one, that contact happens almost every snap. And there wasn't a direct into the guy. It was trying to get out around to the right edge.
Second and 4, Barkley running up the inside. First down to the 40-yard line. Good gain of 9 for Barkley. As he runs it inside. That's his longest run of the night. No runs of 10 or more for Saquon this evening.
Yeah, both teams digging into the playbook a bit this time. Little tight end wham block coming down. Reminds you of New England.
Dable was there with Bill Belichick on his staff, with Nick Saban on his staff. Jones stepping up, taking off, put the shoulder down, get thrown down, lose the football, and Washington has it. Is he down first or is it a fumble? Initial ruling is a fumble and Washington ball. This is going to be close. Let's see if he's down or not. Rule the fumble and a recovery here. Jones is down, but the ball comes out as he hits. Been at it. Let's see. Elbows down. Elbow first, not the butt. That'll be down in Giants ball. We're right back.
After review, the runner was down by contact before the ball came out. We will place the ball 2nd and 1 at the 48-yard line. Will the game clock operator please set the game clock to 7:25, please? 7:25.
And there you see the elbow down. As we showed you going to break, Ron Rivera has continued throughout this to be very animated and very frustrated with, you're talking to John Hussey, the referee, as well. So that automatic review with the turnover gets the ball back to the Giants.
Yeah, he's double mad. He's mad about the 2-point conversion. He's mad about that one. But Daniel Jones, give him credit. One of the things I was going to say on that play, he was not sliding. He was going for that first down. But so many times for the quarterback, that actually puts the ball in danger.
2nd and 1, and he will sneak it for the first down to midfield. The Giants maintain this drive. Remember, they had that massive long drive in the second quarter. That was the only time they really had it. They got the ball back for the one-play kneel down, but they only had one drive the second quarter. It led to the touchdown. Brian Dable's team got off to the great start. Blown out last week against Philadelphia while Washington was off. So they're playing the Giants back-to-back games. Barkley on the move to the edge. And they get Saquon Barkley outside in the passing game, and that's been effective for the Giants this year.
Did anybody else gasp when he threw that ball? That looked like it was going to happen. I was like, man, that ball is getting really close to some of these defensive linemen. That time, James Smith-Williams, who's starting to get a little handle for that play. You have to keep an eye on that type of throw here in the future.
Pressure coming. Barkley running the other way. Barkley pushing against those strong interior defensive players to get the first down at the 37-yard line, and this is more like the Barkley we saw the first half of the season.
It's really been a physical game up front. I mean, we talk about Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, these two great players inside for the Commanders, but at least so far, Mark Lewinsky, Feliciano, Nick Gates, Bredesen, those guys inside have more than held their own, and they're starting to establish the running game just a bit now.
Barkley a break, Matt Breida in the back. He'll take it straight inside, and there's Jonathan Allen coming around to get a hand on it first, and then Deron Payne with a little push there. Those guys trying to set the tone inside, 93 and 94 in burgundy and gold.
Yeah, this is going to get more and more and more physical as we go, because both teams are going to want to establish this run. The one thing that surprised me just a little bit is we haven't seen the Giants sort of go to their signature very much, which is the play-action pass. They've done a lot of shotgun, just not a lot of play action in that first half.
Play 8 of this drive. Jones finds space in the pocket, trying to throw it on the run. There's a flag down. That pass was incomplete. Jamin Davis got a piece of it, and it's going to go the other way.
Holding. Offense number 76. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's on the center, Feliciano.
Another one of those late ones, and now the pressure really shifts back to Daniel Jones. This is where they don't want to be. They don't want to be in those, you've got to throw it kind of situations. And field goals mean a lot with that score at 14-9.
Jones complete, but a minimal gain as there's no catch and run with Darius Slayton. And here comes 3rd and long. And see that Washington pass rush gets dialed up here.
There have been a couple of scrambles tonight, Mike, by Daniel Jones. But for the most part, it's been catch it and throw it. Whatever the time to release and that stat that we follow all the time really hasn't been pertinent. There have been a couple of those. But for the most part, catch it, throw it, get it out, don't take a sack.
Third and 15, bring it 5. Barkley stays into block. Jones takes off. Can't get the first down. Gets to the 32. From there, a field goal is 50 yards. And the Giants are going to try to get 3 out of it. Jones' legs keeping that one alive.
They're going to do one of those stunts that brings people back into the inside here. But once again, it is Jones. They really had nothing working. But that was a huge positioning move right there to give Graham Gano a shot at this one.
Didn't grab and twist, came across the face mask. So you can see why that wasn't called. Here's Gano from 50. To extend the lead, hit it well. Knocked it through. Started his career with Washington, Graham Gano. Done a good job for the Giants. And the guys who play their home games in Jersey lead by 8. Boots, The Last Wish, arrives only in theaters Christmas weekend. That is next weekend. Georgetown skating rink. Hang on, man. Be careful. And we are just outside the district here in Landover, Maryland at FedEx Field, the home of the Washington franchise for over a quarter century, since 1997. 17-9 as the Giants add a field goal, extend the lead to 8. Washington will take over at its own 25, and we remind you that Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one. By Geico, save even more when you bundle home and car insurance. And by Verizon, the network you deserve, the savings you want. Come to D.C., a couple of blocks away from the White House. Old Ebbitt Grill, founded 1856. A couple of stools at the bar there for you. That is Washington's oldest restaurant. It's been a political conversation or two at that bar. Cool spot. Good drive from Heineke, 5 of 5, including the touchdown pass to Jahan Dotson. Second drive of this half begins with Brian Robinson run up the middle with strength for 6, maybe 7. Melissa.
Mike, I talked to Brian Robinson, and he knows a lot of people were shocked by his comeback. He even shocked himself. And sometimes he thinks, this just happened 3.5 months ago. How am I breaking tackles and being this physical? And he told me he can still feel pain in his knee, which affects him a little bit. But when he wakes up sore, he thinks, how can I get better today? How can I make this a positive? He said he feels like he's gotten a second chance to do life all over again.
The victim of that shooting when the carjacking attempt happened here. Flea flicker, Heineke, deep ball downfield. That is incomplete. One step away as the speedster De'Ami Brown was on the move, but Cordell Flute and Julian Love stay with it for the Giants.
Tell you what, Heineke launched that thing, but it really, to go back to Brian Robinson just a second, it's unbelievable what he went through. He got shot in the knee, and somehow it didn't impact bone, artery, or ligaments.
Went through everything.
In the knee, where is the space in the knee to not hit any of that stuff?
Remarkable.
And two kids, they don't even have a driver's license, and he took the gun away from one of them.
That's right. Third three run inside. Samuel fighting for it. He's going to be short. He will be short. The Giants stop him there. Landon Collins again heard from as he came up and made a play.
Huge to bring Landon Collins up. We've already seen it. I think that's him right there. Going to circle right in just like a linebacker, which he essentially is. He's been playing down inside that box his entire career. Has had a couple of phenomenal seasons during the course of his career, and that was a great call-up by the Giants.
Activated from the practice squad for this game. Darnay Holmes was also in there, and he was a bit shaken up as he went off the field. The Giants forced Tress Way to kick it away. Richie James says, get away. And that's a mistake. Come down to me over here at the 1 yard line, says Percy Butler. Tress Way, as good as there is in this league at pinning people deep, has done it to the Giants one more time. The Arizona Cardinals have had a tough year. So have the Bucs, and the Bucs need wins. Brady's trying to get to the playoffs. They're one game ahead of everybody else in the NFC South. See you a week from tonight, Christmas night on NBC. From the one, trying to escape and get some space. Good run inside, tough 4 yards from Barkley out to the 5, but gives the Giants operating room late here in the third.
I tell you, the one thing that stuck out to me watching the offensive line of the Giants this past week, yeah, did they struggle some in pass protection? Absolutely, they did. I just get past that. But the one thing they can do is come off the ball, drive off with some of those double teams, get some movement, and that play right there, just remember that play. If they can pick up this first down, it really makes a difference in the way this game may come out.
From the 6, Jones out of the pocket, nothing going. He'll just throw it incomplete and set up third down. We were talking in the break, that Tress Way punt, 65 yards down at the 1 yard line. In a game like this, a 3 and out, a short field might give you the chance to tie this game on the next Washington offensive drive. So a big play coming up late in the third.
Well, even if you end up backed up, the thing you have to remember is you have to add extra protection to not give up the punt block when you're down here. So a lot of times you get long returns off of that.
Giants have the only third down conversion of the night. The teams are 1 of 12 combined. Pressure comes. Jones throws. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Bellinger, his rookie tight end, and Derek Forrest, who grades very highly at the safety spot, emerging player for this Washington defense.
Well, Daniel Jones, you just can't do it any better than that, and that's Bellinger, who's had a nice year. Leads all these rookies, set him up. Just perfectly timed throw, released it just as he was coming out of the break.
Jamie Gillen to kick it away. Dax Milne awaits. Best kick of the night by Gillen. Wow. All the way back to the 40. And Milne only brings it back to the 44. The ball's out. Carter Coughlin, one of the Giants' special team stars, had a shot at it. And it's a pile dig. We're also going to look to see if he's down when he loses the ball.
The receiver was ruled down by contact at the 44-yard line. Washington's ball, first down.
So everybody's fighting for the ball. That knee is down as it still pins his left shoulder pad. and then comes out with Marcus Johnson making the hit, and Coughlin was there to try to get it for the Giants. Lucky the knee is down, and it's a painful place where Milne got trapped there as he was pulled back. Cam Brown with the hit. Ugh. Milne got up. Washington still has the ball. 22 seconds left here in the third. So the Giants respond to the good Washington punt with an excellent one of their own. Ryan Robinson, the back, his 10th carry of the night. He has 66 yards total now. He gains about 5, and that should take us to the end of the third quarter. Heineke tells everybody to get up to the line here.
Boy, we've had some exciting knees down here tonight, haven't we? I mean, tight, fractionally.
Tight. Third quarter comes to an end. Washington scored a touchdown, didn't get the extra point. Giants a field goal, 17-9. Sunday Night Football continues from just outside our nation's capital after these messages. Fourth quarter begins. There's Ron Rivera, the coach of the Washington Commanders. We spoke to him on Friday about the constant news around this team off the field. There was more news this week regarding the messy ownership situation. Washington Post reported that the investment bank retained by Dan Snyder, the owner of the team, last month. And moving forward now with the process to consider offers to purchase all or part of this franchise, Rivera has done a good job of keeping the players buffered from all of that off-the-field conversation. Here's Robinson. Good job by Robinson to avoid a tackle, get close to the first down at the 48-yard line, and keep this drive going. Rivera told us, he told the players, look, there's interesting and important, all the stuff on the outside that's interesting to many. Let me handle those things. You as players handle what's important on the football field. The mantra he said to us, it's not about what's out there, and he's been able to do that, navigate as much swirling controversy as there has been around a franchise in a long time, and keep these players focused on trying to make the playoffs. They're down 8 to the Giants as this fourth quarter begins. It's 3rd and 1. Heineke using the speed with nobody there to get the first down. Forward to the 34-yard line. Big run of 14 yards for Heineke.
Sometimes when you're having a night, you want to keep it going, baby. Kayvon Thibodeau on the outside was going to blow this run up. Oh, there he goes. But he did come back and actually run him down after being faked out on the naked bootleg.
Longest run of the season for Heineke. Yeah, I couldn't believe I did a double take that it was 5 catch. Yeah. That's the second time we've seen Thibodeau came to play tonight. What a night he's having. Heineke trying to drive him down the field, maybe for a tying score. He's throwing in the flat, incomplete. Logan Thomas, tight end, who was a quarterback during his Virginia Tech days, couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, and when you come up incomplete on first down, now you open up the playbook for Wink Martindale. He is one of those guys that just loves being able to take some shots in various situations, and typically this is one of those situations. A lot of teams like to run the football here to make it third and manageable, but he may have a little run blitz for that one as well.
Second and 10, a lot of motion, inside give. Antonio Gibson lost the football. Oof. Wow. Right back on it at the 33.
By the runner, 3rd down.
Azeez Ojulari was there, and here comes Thibodeau back in.
And they're going to bring some pressure off of both edges here, which allowed that outside edge player to get inside and make the play. So it was the pressure, and it was a run blitz of sorts that they brought by the Giants.
They're down, empty set. Pressure on, just getting to Heineke, and it goes incomplete. Jason Pinnock with the safety pressure gets there. And as you called, Chris, that first down, lack of a gain, put him in position there. We'll see a long field goal attempt come up.
The first down incompletion set up 2 blitzes and got him off the field. It really is. You have to know who the defensive coordinator is. And once it became 2nd and 10, you knew what was going to come. And that's exactly what happened there. The pressure from the edge wins again.
So Thibodeau there, he's got an elbow brace on now in this battle. Sly's been good from 41. This from 51. The breeze up earlier has died down. Hit it well. Knocked it through with 7 to spare. That is a 5-point game. Everything you'd want out of the Giants and the Commanders in December. The Unstoppables. So Tom Coughlin, really the terrific coach for the Giants, brought a couple of Super Bowl trophies to this great franchise. And after Tom Coughlin's run as conductor ended, it hasn't been a smooth sail through the subways in New York. MetroCard not exactly working for McAdoo and Pat Shurmur and Joe Judge. But it's worked for Brian Daboll quite well. There's John Mara, Giants president and CEO, speaking with him before the game. Effusive is in praise of the vibe around the building. It's back, it's good. The Giants feel good about the organization right now, and this touchback will start the drive to 25. And Chris, everybody around the Giants knows what happened at the start of the season. They were winning close games. They're not fooled by it. They know there's a rebuild to come, but they just love the direction it's going this time around.
I think this team has really overachieved this year. There are a lot of spots they need to fill on this roster. It's one of the reasons they didn't go out and sign Odell. They weren't one wide receiver away from turning everything around. But when you look at what they've accomplished with this football team, with these players, I think it's really one of the great coaching jobs in the league this year.
Yeah, terrific chance if they can hold on the next 12 and a half. On first down, Jones pass. Complete to Bellinger, 29. Here's Michelle. Here's Melissa. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Mike.
I did it. I win.
Oh.
I win the pool.
Yeah, you do. Down on the Giants sideline, been watching Brian Daboll encouraging the wide receiver, saying, we're good, we're good. To Daniel Jones, he said, you have to keep making plays. That's what a good quarterback does. And Saquon Barkley was walking up and down, high-fiving guys, saying, lock in, lock in.
Thank you, Melissa, Virginia Cavalier alum, for the 29 after a gain of 4. Good job here to get it on the edge to Richie James, almost like a punt return. That's what he is, a punt returner. But he's given them a good job in this receiving role this year, out to the 44 and a first down.
I like this Richie James. Made a huge play to convert a big one on third down in the first half. Comes right back here, makes another one. Remember, he got a concussion in one of the last plays of the game a week ago against Philadelphia. And he's come right back and made some of the biggest plays of this game.
4 catches and also a big punt return early in the game to give the Giants good field position. First look was taken away from Jones. And he does the smart thing, just gets rid of it on the sideline and incomplete. Daniel Jones, 19 of 28 on the night.
Now, Daniel Jones took 4 sacks in the first matchup between these two teams. So you can tell, you know what the game plan has been here. They are catching it, throwing it. He almost got himself in trouble there. You really don't want to see your quarterback on that quick throw, look one way and then try and come back. Those are the ones you do get hit.
No sacks allowed tonight by the Giants O-line and quarterback. 2nd and 10, the draw, Barkley up the middle. 48-yard line, Jamin Davis. The linebackers in there. Jamin Davis, the first-round pick a couple of years ago out of Kentucky. He's really taken on more of a leadership role. He's got that green dot. He calls the defensive signals now for Washington. Giants need to get to the Commanders' 46. 4-man rush, doesn't get there. Jones with the completion of Barkley for the first down to the 44-yard line. Again the time, and Jones accurate to Barkley.
All right, watch the confidence of Saquon Barkley catching this football. Huge play in the game, right? Ball's a little low, reach one hand over the other, just catch it so cleanly in his hands, and then had to lunge for the first down and did exactly that. He is some player. When he is healthy, he is some player.
47th catch of the year. Jones out quick, deflected this time. F.A. Obata got his big hand up to knock it down. Be second down as we slide under 10 minutes left in regulation. Giants leading by 5.
You know, Mike, the other thing that's been happening in this game, because Daniel Jones has gotten the ball out of his hands so quickly, they're not doing all the loops and stunts that we typically see. They're now forced into these straight bull kind of rushes, and that probably plays into the Giants' offensive line much better.
Barkley sprints out, design run for Jones. And it feels like Washington just brings a little extra pop in those tackles going after the Giants quarterback. Third down. Dable was calling the plays in Buffalo, of course, as the offensive coordinator. Gave that up here. Mike Kafka is the one calling the plays.
So significant. The next 6, 7, 8 yards, so significant in this game because of that 5-point lead. 3 points is really huge here.
3rd and 8. Barkley leaks out. Jones throws, and it's incomplete. It was almost intercepted. Great job, Derek Forrest. He was watching Barkley as he came out, stopped him there. 4th down. The Giants will punch it away.
Great job on the outside by Evan Neal with the good pass protection. They had plenty of time, Mike, as you said. And Barkley just not a real aggressive route on the outside. Lucky to get away with that one. And that was that moment. Instead of the field goal, you get your punter.
And now Jamie Gillen pinned Dax Milne and the Washington return team deep. Milne fair catch inside the 10 at the 8. Long field to go. Down to the last couple of drives of this one. 9:06 left. Daniel Jones had a good night. Couldn't keep that drive alive. He and Saquon up 5. We'll turn it over to Washington. To you by Geico. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley. Washington's already had a 91-yard touchdown drive tonight. They start from their own 9 again. Heineke looking deep, going downfield, and caught, pulled in by Dotson, and pulled down at the 30-yard line. What a throw and what a play in the open field by Dotson.
Watch this catch up over the top, and he did that throughout the course of his career in college. I saw game after game. I loved watching him play. I was so impressed when the Commanders took him. And they took him mainly because they were afraid of the health of Curtis Samuel. They had to have somebody on the other side of Terry McLaurin. And now they have 3, and they have a quarterback, and they have a huge play in this game.
61 yards from Heineke. And now to the ground with Brian Robinson Jr. Around the edge, Robinson into the red zone. To the 12-yard line. Gain of 18.
Just straight. Nobody pulling, nobody, nothing. You just give the ball to Robinson on the outside. And overtime in the 4th quarter, people get tired. And runs that didn't work in the first half suddenly start working late in the game. And that guy is a load to try and tackle.
Robinson now is approaching 100 yards.
That's Samuel in the backfield here.
Give it to him. He works inside. Giants have it strung out. And Thibodeau is over there, along with Micah McFadden, to stop it. Jalen Smith as well. Halfway through this 4th quarter, 5-point lead.
I love watching these young wide receivers play the game. Just throw it up in the air, baby. I'll get it. Don't worry about it. I'll take it right off his helmet. Wow. Face mask, chin guard, mouthpiece, whatever it is. I got that football. And that is one of those game-changing, season-changing possible plays by the young rookie.
Gibson split out, bottom of the screen, 2nd and 9. Heineke in the middle of the field, caught by McLaurin. One arm to bring him down at the 5-yard line from Fabian Moreau, former Washington player. It sets up a huge third down. They can get a first down at the 1.
I'll tell you, I think you think about this as 4-down territory here. So a run is not out of the question.
Thorne and Samuel go to the left. Logan Thomas, the tight end, is in the slot on the right. Dotson's in motion. Heineke, 5 options, looking for space to get rid of it. He's brought down. Dexter Lawrence got there. The ball came out, but they say he was down, so no Leonard Williams recovery. Let's see what he'll do. Now it's 9 for the first down. Field goal to make it a 2-point game is the Rivera call here.
Going to get Leonard Williams with the initial pressure right up the gut here, and that's what really set up everybody else. Ojulari, Lawrence. Huge play. Just huge plays in the game.
Field goal for Sly is 27 yards, and the Giants are challenging that play. I was watching the last replay of the ball to see as it was coming out with Ojulari's pressure there. It's close. That's out, isn't it? And there is a clear recovery by the Giants' Leonard Williams.
New York is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact. Timeout.
So John Hussey came right in and called him down there, but you saw that replay the very last second, and we do have a clear recovery. We'll see if this is a turnover and Giants ball.
Heimer in theaters this summer.
The ball was coming out prior to the runner being down by contact. Therefore, it is a fumble recovered by the New York Giants. We'll put the ball at the 14-yard line, and will the game clock operator please set the game clock to 6:06, please. First down.
2 huge plays by the Giants defense, turning over Taylor Heineke with forced fumbles. One led to the touchdown immediately. That one denies Washington the chance to put points on the board, and the Giants take over at their own 14 with 6:06 to go. And Barkley on the inside, big opening for Barkley. Saquon to the 27-yard line and a first down.
Sometimes when you get on 2 different levels here and here, it creates gaps inside to run the football. Deron Payne shot up the field and really created just a bit of a crease. You could see how excited Barkley was the minute he got his hands on the ball. He could weave his way through that crease in there.
Washington has the full complement of timeouts, a few minutes away from starting to use those to get the ball back. The Giants just want to run some clock here and have Barkley do it. What a good game he's had. A spinning run by Barkley for 14 to the 40-yard line. And like we said, Saquon Barkley has not played in many big games as a Giant with playoff stuff on the line.
Yeah, the duo scheme, the 2 double teams up front. But we have seen Barkley now look like what he did in those first 8 or 9 games of the season when he carried this football team. And he told the whole team, he's the captain. So you want to act like you're the guy around here, be the guy in this game. He's done exactly that.
For the 15th time tonight, Barkley, another big run, another B-button spin move to the 45-yard line. Saquon Barkley alive in this 4th quarter. 14 there.
A whirling dervish out here tonight. That's at least his 3rd. But here's the play that they're using. These duo blocks. Inside the duo scheme, the double teams up to the linebacker. They have run the same play now 3 times in a row and taken it past midfield.
Runs of 12, 15, and 14. Trying to rip at the ball is John Ridgway. Big man inside, and Barkley still able to fight for a couple of yards. 3:44 on the turning fourth quarter clock.
Boy, it has just been the pressure tonight that Heineke has been under, right? That's the difference in the game. You get a game this close, you get a couple of turnovers off of that pressure. We came in believing it probably was going to be Washington, the team, getting the pressure. Instead, it has been the big plays of the Giants up front that's really turned the tide.
Second and 7. Jones this time keeps it on the edge. Jones gets the first down, stays in bounds at the 34-yard line.
Anytime Barkley gets hot running like that, the edges really have no choice but to try and crash down and make some plays. And Daniel Jones has just been so patient reading that out tonight and making an occasional big play, which really puts so much pressure on defenses.
Good job for the Giants here, milking the clock. You figure timeouts will start to be taken by Rivera here after this first down play. Trying to get the ball back, trying to stop the Giants. Barkley inside. Only a yard. Timeout taken by Ron Rivera. 2:20 remaining in regulation. Giants by 5.
All right, let's take a look at our next-gen stats powered by AWS and Taylor Heineke tonight. He's played well, but it has been the pressure that really has been the difference in this one. When they've had opportunities for big plays, it has been the relentless pressure. Of course, we talk a lot about what's happened with Kayvon Thibodeau here tonight, but then that final play, instead of a field goal, they end up with a headache over on the sideline. And so far defensively, they cannot get this New York Giants offense off the field. I tell you, it's such a hard drive when you know you want to run the clock. You know you want to run the football. The defense knows you want to do it. Let's give a lot of credit to the guys up front for the Giants tonight. They have taken it to a really good defensive line of Washington.
Barkley inside. Washington ready for it. Down. The clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. 182nd meeting between these two franchises. It has always meant so much. The former Giants owner, Wellington Mara, on playing Washington. What a quote this is. I don't think there's any question. The team that makes me feel best when we beat them is Washington. I can think of nothing sweeter than ruining their day. Wellington Mara, owner of the Giants, dad got the franchise started. Wellington's nickname, the Duke, and the Duke is on every football in the NFL. There it is right there. In part because Mara was the one who secured the deal with Wilson to make the NFL footballs. And one of the great impact people in the history of the league. His name on every football, his nickname. Every football in the NFL. The Giants win tonight. They will have more wins over Washington than anyone has over anyone else in this fourth most played rivalry. But here's the down. 3rd and 6. Washington down to a final timeout in the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 6. They will try to throw. Jones throws. What a catch. It's brought in and fumbled, but recovered at the very last second by Darius Slayton. Stays inbounds. And Washington will preserve the timeout. Use the 2-minute warning as the stoppage here. And with the ball at the 32, a field goal attempt would be 50 yards to make it an 8-point game. And Washington could only tie with a touchdown and a 2. So what it all means, Philly, Minnesota, I still can't believe Minnesota won that game. And San Francisco are in. We'll see Tampa, and they're fighting off the 5 and 9s over there on the right. Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta. Well, let's come to the middle column here. If the Giants win, they jump Washington, and they'll essentially be up a game and a half because they'll have the tiebreaker. And that's with 3 games remaining. Dallas, I know the Cowboy fans are sitting there rooting for the Giants, right? Because Dallas is in the playoffs if the Giants hold on to this victory. And there's Seattle and Detroit putting the heat on from behind.
But you see, all of those teams right there, all NFC East teams. It's weird to think about an entire division can go to the playoffs, but that's exactly what the new system is set up with 7 playoff teams in each conference.
So let's see, the lead is 5. A field goal from here, a 50-yarder, and here comes Graham Gano out to try it.
Big difference, though, between an 8-point lead and a kickoff and a missed field goal here, and they get the football on that 40-yard line.
Casey Kreider snaps it. Jamie Gillen puts it down, and from 50, got it. Gano, who had that 57-yarder at Dallas, missed the 58-yarder at the end of overtime 2 weeks ago at MetLife, has given the Giants 20 points again.
Executed perfectly. So here we go.
Yep.
Right? It all comes down to need a touchdown, need a 2-point conversion. You get 4 downs regardless from here on out. And Rivera is saying we have had some bad breaks here tonight. Some knees that got down too early or too late.
2-point conversion they wanted. The reaction of Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, who have combined for 124 rushing yards, the two of them tonight. They've really been solid for the Giants. And now Barkley going to his defensive guys. And one of the other captains, Julian Love, asking them for 1 stop. So they played at MetLife in Jersey 2 weeks ago. They played 5 quarters, went through overtime. The score was 20-20. Washington comes down and gets the touchdown, ties it up. Will be 20-20 again. I think these two teams are pretty well matched.
Terry McLaurin time coming up here. They started this half with him. They need to get back to him.
Antonio Gibson will try to get good field position. On the return, Gibson up the right side, got a couple of blocks. There goes Gibson. Good return. Best of the night. Taken out of bounds by Nick McLeod of the Giants. It's going to be across the 40 at the 43-yard line. Excellent field position for Washington with 1:47, 1 timeout. There is time.
Taylor Heineke, we saw in that opening drive of this half, they came out, they went straight to McLaurin. The Giants came out and played off coverage. Let's see if they're doing that again. They are. So they're going to play off of Terry McLaurin, and that's when they were able to get some things going on that initial drive.
What a time for the best field position of the night for Washington. Heineke down the sideline, breaking open. Samuel out of bounds at the 30. Sneaking down the sideline, Curtis Samuel for 27.
You got the inside receiver going off to the post, and nobody can get to the outside there. Great call, great play design. And these two teams are just determined to play to a tie every time this year. This has just been fantastic football, watching these two go at it.
Now plenty of time. 1:41 in the 1 timeout. It's Logan Thomas in motion. Heineke looking towards McLaurin, going to come back down to Thomas's tight end. Dives to the sideline, gets out of bounds. Markham with about 6 yards to the 24-yard line.
We've talked about the pixie dust of Taylor Heineke. We've talked about his ability to take this team, take this offense to another place. But typically they've been able to rely on their running game to do that.
The previous play is under review.
Is the review being out of bounds or not? Did he dive and get out of bounds or not? Let's see. He's clipped on the knee there. Terry McCauley, I bring you in here just to figure out what they're looking for at this point.
Sure, Mike. They'll reverse this. The elbow's down in bounds prior to going out of bounds. They'll reset the clock to when that elbow was down. And it's a 10-second runoff, so Washington will either take their timeout or there will be a 10-second runoff and the clock will start on the ready for play.
So that elbow down inbounds puts the ball essentially with a running clock, and he didn't reach out of bounds in time, even though the ball was over the sideline.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think I would give up the 10 seconds and save the timeout here.
Absolutely.
But I would be on the football here getting ready, and that's exactly what they're doing. You've got to be up there because they're going to whistle this thing ready for play, and you have to snap the ball because that clock's going to start immediately.
And again, Terry gave you the shorthand, a replay review running clock, or a stop clock that would have essentially been a running clock, if called correctly, is why 10 seconds come off. The assumption that would have been the time you get to the line of scrimmage to get another playoff.
Which is probably a break for Washington. It probably takes longer than that, right, to be in a position. Now they're going to be at the line of scrimmage, snap it quickly.
Play, the runner was deemed to be inbounds. As a result, we're going to bring the ball back to the 24-yard line, and we must run 10 seconds. Will we set the game clock to 1:35, please, and reduce the game clock by 10 seconds to 1:25. Thank you.
So the explanation there, the ball is going to stay where it is at the 24-yard line.
26, please. Correction, 126.
Okay. And as we've seen already this weekend, every second matters. This has been an unbelievable week of incredible finishes around the league, and Washington trying to author another one here. Let's have Carl Johnson and John Hussey with a conversation about one more point of clarification here.
You know, now it gets interesting to what Brian Dable wants to do. He has his timeouts. So the down marker.
Yeah, down marker is questionable to return on the sidelines. All right, clock running. Minute 20 to go. From the 24. Heineke with space and time. Fire sideline. It's brought in by Dotson, who's having a terrific game. That's at the 10, and it's first and goal for Washington.
Just perfectly done. He's just going to pressure inside, break to the outside. You just wonder, where would this team be if they had not drafted Jahan Dotson? Like so many teams in this league, once you get that third wide receiver, it is really tough to defend.
Terry McLaurin's alone at the top of the screen. Fabian Moreau is over there, and a safety lurking as well. First and goal, Heineke struggles with the snap. Got it back. End zone, and it's dropped. Nick McLeod had a game ender in his hands, and the game goes on.
Oh, there goes some of that pixie dust right there. That thing went straight up in the air. Heineke should have never thrown this ball. Easy interception. And McLeod just cannot bring it in. Whoa.
Curtis Samuel and Jahan Dotson are coming out here. Giants are exchanging personnel. Would Washington think of running the ball at all down here?
Oh, they better take a timeout now.
Giants got people running everywhere, and let's see, they get the timeout.
Before the ball was snapped, defense called timeout. New York Giants, their first timeout.
That was almost a train wreck.
It was. In 100 ways, right? Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh.
They're lucky.
You know, Washington had subbed, and so often we see them hold the game so the defense can match the sub, but not in the last 2 minutes of the game. So when Dotson came off the field and Samuel, even though it was a stopped clock, the Giants were in fire drill mode. They have 2 left. Washington has 1. After all that, here's second and goal again. Giants bringing pressure. Heineke steps up, takes off to the end zone. Short at the 1. Is he out of bounds? No, they say he's inbounds. So third and goal, 2 plays from here, and a timeout taken by the Giants. Giants timeout.
Second charge timeout, New York.
It's going to need time back on the clock here. They'll get that straightened out.
7 seconds, please.
5-7. I was thinking of the playoff game 2 years ago where Heineke took off and dove for the pylon against Tampa and got in. You can see he just kind of tripped there between the 3 and the 2. And it looks like he's out of bounds, which is also reviewable. The Giants took a timeout.
The previous play is under review.
That's a young guy, isn't he?
Yeah, kind of like him. They're going to put him out of bounds at the 1 yard line. So that timeout was the Giants. They'll probably get it back. I really think, Chris, he was ready to launch for the pylon. I thought he was going to try to make it on that run.
Yeah, he did. But that was a big call now because the Giants do preserve that timeout. It should give them a chance. And, you know, in your brain, you go, oh, boy, we'd love to eat a little bit of this clock.
Sure.
No, you want to score this touchdown.
Right.
We've seen too many goal line stands over the years.
You never know. You get a penalty, a defensive hold, and it gives you first down, so you have more options if you can. But so Heineke's story is so cool because you mentioned it earlier, Scott Turner, the offensive coordinator here. Heineke was pretty much getting ready to be done. He was backing up in the XFL. He had a prolific career at Old Dominion back in the day. And he tried the pro ranks, and he got a start at Carolina, but he was about done. And so then when COVID hit, he was that quarterback who you kept away from the team just in case you needed somebody. Well, then injuries happened with Alex Smith, and all the moves happened, and now he got a start. And when he got the start, he played okay, and he ends up coming in the playoff game, and he was standing in the tunnel before playing Tom Brady and said, let's just go for it.
After review, the runner was out of bounds. Please set the game clock to 1:03, please. We will give New York Giants back their timeout since the runner was out of bounds.
And that's that pixie dust you talk about. That's the way he plays. He plays, just go for it, because you never know when that opportunity to be a starter in the NFL is going to end.
So now we see so many teams, Mike, that go with the quarterback sneak, with the push in behind. I don't know if you do that here or not. You have a big back and Brian Robinson.
They'll go shotgun, loaded up with a couple of tight ends to the left. Heineke takes Robinson inside, pounds it to the goal line, in for the touchdown. There is a flag down on the opposite side of the field by where Curtis Samuel, the receiver, was. Flag down at the 1 on the opposite side.
Illegal formation. Offense number 17. He was not lined up on the line of scrimmage. Therefore, he left the tackle uncovered.
Wow.
Third down.
Here we go. You're going to get right out there. He has to be on the line of scrimmage because there is no eligible receiver inside him.
You see he looked over to Carl Johnson over there on that side, the line judge. There's the touchdown and break of the plane. He looked over to Johnson and pointed, which we often see receivers trying to gain confirmation. Yes, you're on the line. No, you're not.
But a lot of times when you're on the line, you'll point down at the ground, and then sometimes the official will say, move yourself up.
So the penalty.
Whoa, what a call.
Erases the touchdown, makes it 3rd and goal from the 6. And Heineke pumping, looking, trying to get away from Ojulari, throws incomplete. And it's 4th down. Azeez Ojulari, big in the last game against Washington. Big on a very important play there to set up the biggest play of the night.
Really wasn't bad protection on the outside by Cornelius Lucas. He's going to come out and get pressure, but as he got squeezed into the pocket, Heineke tried to escape and really ran right into that pressure.
Here we go, 4th and goal.
They're going to do everything they can to keep this ball out of Terry McLaurin's hands.
Heineke looking, seeking, Thibodeau out of the play. Heineke throws. Incomplete. Broken up by Darnay Holmes. No flags down. And the Giants are on their way to getting this one over Washington.
Perfect protection, no matter how you slice it. Biggest moment of the game, perfect protection. You got all day. And they did exactly what we talked about. Terry McLaurin taken away with the double team and just nowhere to go. Make your second best player make a play in the big clutch situations, all over him with two guys. And Curtis Samuel just could not come down with that one. Oh, a lot of contact there.
Wow.
A lot of contact there.
All over him. Looked like Thibodeau got poked in the eye as he was, look at Holmes. Holmes has him draped.
Wow. That is pass interference. That's pass interference.
Totally.
When you can't get your arm off the side of your body, that's pass interference. But how many times do we see that?
Yeah.
In big pressure, clutch situations, the officials, they don't want to make that call.
Right. Decided on the field. Materially restricting the guy from being able to get up and get the ball is usually the threshold used for pass interference. And that picture-wise would fit. The moment was big. Julian Love, the safety, is back there to make a tackle just in case, but he's there to celebrate with his team. Washington's last two drives got inside the Giants' 10. They didn't score on either one. And the Giants have come on the road, defeated the Commanders, take the advantage in the wild card race, and the Dallas Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot. Giants 8-5-1, Commanders 7-6-1, and Washington has to go to San Francisco to play the 49ers next week. And the Giants will be in Minnesota. So two teams in the 2 and 3 spot are going to see teams in the 6 and 7 spot coming up on Christmas Eve. What a week it has been in the NFL, and it comes down to Sunday night's final play. Heineke throws. Darnay Holmes all over Curtis Samuel. No flag thrown, it's incomplete. 2 times inside the 10, coming away with no points. The difference in the game, 1 touchdown. Kayvon Thibodeau got it early on a forced fumble. Banged up in the last play, but the Giants love their trip to the nation's capital. They win 20-12. SNF postgame coming up after these messages from your local NBC station.